Hey, good morning there. I'm just out here working on getting some pruning done from my fruit trees. Just a little while ago, this tree over here looked a lot like this one, but now it looks a little bit more like this one. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm doing or that I'm any kind of a fruit tree expert, but I did look at a couple things on the internet, and so, if it was on the internet, then it has to be true, right? One of the things I learned about pruning trees was one guy talked about the cat toss method. And I really liked that. I was intrigued, so I looked it up. What is the cat toss method? And what he said was, you want to prune enough branches out of the way so that you could toss a cat through there and it won't get stuck on the branches. I really liked that one. I thought that was a good idea. So that's kind of what I try to do. And honestly, some of you who know about fruit trees might look at what I've done and go, oh my gosh, you butchered that thing. And maybe I did. But pruning trees today got me to thinking a little bit about a Bible study that our small group was doing in John chapter 15 just a little while back. And I'm going to read a few verses from John 15 and then talk about what Jesus was saying. He said, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Well, that's a pretty intriguing statement. What is he talking about? I've always thought about things being pruned out of my life as a Christian, being, the bad things that are in my life that I want to have eliminated so that I can bear fruit for the Lord. And that's part of what is true. If I find a dead branch or a branch on the tree that I think is a problem, of course I'm going to want to cut that branch off. But one of the things that was intriguing when we were studying this as a small group was we discovered that both in a vineyard and with fruit trees, people who know what they're doing will often prune away branches that are actually not bad branches. They're not dead branches. In fact, at some point there would be a whole bunch of fruit on some of these branches. But the reason that they prune away even good branches is so that the fruit that grows will actually be better fruit, will be larger fruit, it'll be more juicy. If you have a whole lot of little apples growing on this tree, they're not going to be that great. But if you prune away some of these other branches so that there's more room and that the branch doesn't have to work so hard just to keep the branches alive, more energy from the tree can be put into making actually really good fruit. And so that's one of the things that was interesting to me. And and I thought about while we're out here talking about this virus and being stuck at home and not being able to do the things that we're used to do, not being able to meet together, how frustrating that is. I started thinking this morning, what is it that the Lord's pruning out of my life? Maybe there are things that are not necessarily bad, but the Lord is using this time, taking a bad situation and bringing good out of it. Maybe He's pruning some things out of my life, even if it's just temporary. A lot of these good branches that I'm cutting off, next year they'll grow back. But for now, maybe the Lord's pruning some things. For example, today would be the second round of the March Madness tournament. If it hadn't gotten canceled, I'd probably be inside, sitting on my rear end watching TV right now, cheering on my basketball teams. But instead, I'm out here actually getting something done that I probably should have done a long time ago anyway. So maybe the Lord's pruning sports out of my life. This week I looked at my calendar and I would have been going from work to coaching baseball to meetings in the evening, maybe Awana at night. I would have had a game that I'm coaching for Central Inn one day, and the next day I would have been up at Shemeketa College in Salem watching my other son play ball. In other words, busy, busy, busy. A lot of good things, but maybe too many good things, and maybe things that were getting in the way of my relationship with the Lord. So for temporary, the Lord may be pruning some things out of my life, and I was just wondering, what is He pruning out of your life? And how is it going to make a difference? And are you going to take advantage of the pruning that He wants to do in your life so that you can bear more fruit for Him? We could easily waste this opportunity that we have before us, but we could also take great advantage of it and use it for His glory and allow Him to prune good things out of our life so that we can get more involved in better things. So what is What is the Lord wanting to prune from your life today? One other verse I just wanted to share. When Jesus went on to say in John 15, "Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing." That's been one of my favorite verses for a long time, and it makes me think about the fact that I need to stay connected to Jesus Christ as the main vine, and I'm a branch that can bear fruit if I stay connected to him. But if I go off on my own and separate myself from a close relationship with Jesus, I begin to be fruitless in my life. We look at one of these branches. This branch right now looks like a good branch. It looks like it's healthy. In fact, if it would have stayed connected to the tree, it would have had some apples on it. But what's going to happen to this branch? Are any apples going to grow on this branch now? Absolutely not. In just a short while, this branch is going to be dead, dry, and I'm going to throw it on the burn pile. So the same is true for you and for me. We have to stay connected to Jesus through prayer, through time in the Word, through time with other believers. And of course, right now we can't be face to face maybe with other believers, but we can still stay connected with each other. So my hope and my prayer for you is that you'll remain abiding in the vine who is Jesus Christ and letting him bring fruit out of your life. No, this apple did not come from this tree, but it makes the point. The Lord wants to produce fruit in our lives. He wants to produce good fruit that will last and will accomplish his purposes. Oh, that's good. Have a great day. God bless you.